Yo, dog. Another one of these Channel 5 ones about the hopping borders. Also, yo, if you're interested, maybe I'm trying to go do something new. Maybe later. I saw one of his videos on like a video. I think it's this VTuber bullshit. I don't care about that, but it was Asmongold, and he's kind of basehead.
The experience of trekking through the Mexican borderlands is a surreal one. Everywhere you look, you see free-range cows. And signs asking not to leave garbage. Still, there's a ton of trash, but a lot of it's pretty interesting. You see empty cases of beer, diapers full of poo, Venezuelan flags, printed copies of unanswered emails from U.S. Border Patrol, and a delicious half-eaten Snickers bar just for you.
Hay mucha gente de Venezuela que
As we begin to walk down a large hill, one of the coyotes stops us with some important information.
No es que sea peligroso, simplemente es mucha cautela, porque
mucha cautela.
Sí, así nadie sabe nada. No saben nada de nosotros.
They say the cartel controls this particular human smuggler's route, and that as freelancers, they failed to pay the coyote fee, or the cartel tax, which is actually about 20%. And they also didn't tell them we'd be filming. So, in the event that a collector rolls up demanding money, I have to act like we're just a couple of bros on a chill hike.
Okay, está bien.
Truly seeing no other option, I follow them down the hill and into the woods.
Alright, we're walking through the forest. We're about a mile from the Rio Grande, which obviously is the natural barrier into the state of Texas. So we're gonna follow the homies here. As you can see, there's like a ton of discarded underwear, socks, you know, garbage, empty bottles of water, presumably left behind by previous migrants. It's estimated that just last year alone, you know, roughly 2 million people entered the U.S. this way.
Jesus. As we continue to walk, I get my first view of the river. This spot, though, they say, is way too hot to cross.
They added a special car to Fortnite. You should
Not because of Border Patrol, they say, but because of undercurrents, which are the leading cause of death in the river.
The current can sweep you under that water in just seconds.
Border Patrol agents rescued 2 migrants struggling to stay afloat in the fast-moving water.
Jesus. Yeah, rivers are dangerous, dude. Don't swim in rivers. Like the big ones, they're fucking dangerous. The small ones are fine, but big ones, that's fucking, yeah, that's just GG. One current and you're drowning. It's just GG, man.
Digo que la gente es así porque son así. No sé si todos tienen un sueño o una vida muy bien hecha, pero
the coyote, like many others,
Shut
don't
the fuck up,
understand
man.
why migrants
Don't
would go to
fucking
such
point your
lengths
middle
just to
finger
get
at
to
me.
the US. But his perspective is an informed one. He spent most of his life in a border town, and for a year lived in San Antonio and worked as a dishwasher, where he said he felt alienated, exiled, overworked, and depressed.
He estado encerrado, trabajando encerrado. Es lo único.
But does admit the service wages were much higher. Yet, so was the cost of living. So he was barely able to make any money. This equation is something that very few economic migrants seem to be.
Minimum wage continuously falls behind inflation. Yeah.
Also classic.
Which points to a larger issue, which is the widespread proliferation of American dream propaganda in developing nations. Every migrant that I've spoken to, from Senegal to Guinea to Guatemala and to Bangladesh, believe without any prior experience or really contemporary information about the problems facing American society, America is...
Chat, if it's on par, right? It doesn't split, does it? Wait, am I misinterpreting this? I'm confused.
Is paradise, heaven on earth, a place of free elections, free press, and unlimited social welfare programs.
I just been swiping for EBD. Go to the bank, get a stack at least. This is here better than selling peas. I made some rent that I couldn't believe.
But unfortunately, this is not the case.
The Department of Justice says a rapper who bragged in a music video about getting rich from an unemployment scam is now facing federal charges.
America is in a bad spot in a number of ways. And it seems that most migrants are not aware, as I mentioned, about the skyrocketing cost of living yet stagnant minimum wage in every major U.S. city that's eroding the working class in cities like San Francisco, where many lifetime city natives have been priced out in the past couple years.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's impossible to live here. The rent,
is rising. Minimum wage is the same. No parking. If you get a parking ticket, nigga, that's a whole check right there. You need to work 3 jobs just to live in a 1-bedroom in Zombieland.
But most migrants seem to be programmed with the opposite vision of America and seem to have been swindled by an aggressive, multi-generational PR campaign, which in my view has totally misled them and left them in the dark on very important information. They're unaware, for example, about the ongoing cold class war in all of America's major cities, or that the majority of US citizens have been strategically divided.
Guys, I don't think it's misleading. I feel like it's like an ideal. I think it's like wanting better, and it's not deliberately misleading.
Into politicized
I don't think it's a good way to word it. I don't like it.
Investment firms who control the mainstream media. They've been using the border issue to stoke the flames of an internal culture war between Americans by pulling on liberal heartstrings with migrant sob stories, while simultaneously stoking conservative anger by blaming the...
Who goes out and says, guys, I get a pause of broadcast chat. Guys, here in America, guys, please, chat, please. Look at us, guys. Poor, class war, dog shit, miserable trash, high taxes, death and poverty, drugs, and more death, pog. Here in America, we just die. Dude, it's not, even if true, it's like, dude, it's okay to have an ideal and want to have better and want to have a dream.
It's still better than cartel, man.
Not the American broken reality. Like,
even if they're lying,
on Joe Biden, but both
it's still better
employed by the same propaganda
than where it came from.
It's called a dream. If you notice, dreams aren't real. That girl in your dream last night, you were about to kiss, okay? She's not real, you fuckwad. You're not gonna go date her. You cannot go on a date right now.
She's real.
She's not real.
She is.
She's not real. She is not real.
She is, man.
His primary goal is to generate revenue
She's
by
right there, man.
clicks and
She's right
engagement to legacy media, which will collapse, but not yet. In the meantime, legacy media's purpose is to distract and divide. Anyways, back to the forest. Me and the coyotes find a gap in the trees. And there she is, the US of A, home to bald eagles, corn dogs, and gangster rap. Drive-through Starbucks, Roll Tide Rush Weekend, apple pie, and the Island Boys. I also see the barbed wire the newsman has been hollering about for the past couple weeks.
Razor wire remains up along the U.S.-Mexico border even after the Supreme Court ruling allowing federal immigration officials to remove it.
Texas has argued that the razor wire is repelling migrants from crossing into the country illegally.
It appears that President Joe Biden and...
Chat, why make it a gray area? Shouldn't this always be a black or white area? Is it a border or is it not a border? Because if it's not, just build a bridge. If it's meant to be crossed deliberately, then just build a bridge. Make it a nice fucking... Make nice bricks, cement, and make it just walkable. What? Because either you don't be able to cross, and it's not meant to be crossed, and it's like, don't do that, right? Where's the wire? Or the point is to cross it, build a bridge. There's no anything in between is stupid. It's bricked up. Anything between black and white is just brain dead. What a stupid idea.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott have been involved in a vicious dispute about having more or less razor wire right there. Biden wants less and Abbott wants more. But it doesn't matter because the majority of river embankments on the American side have no barbed wire at all. It's a non-issue and a distraction, designed to create controversy from afar. He says this is a perfect place to cross, but he's worried it's a bit too deep.
Y si él mira que está hondo, busca otro lado. Si no está hondo, pues por ahí pasamos los
You stay flat. You need to stay flat. If you want to swim, you have to don't go straight in the water. Go like this. But you want to go flat like this. If you do this and your leg catches on the current, you're done. It's done for
But obviously, they had other plans.
Y luego ahí ya cruzamos para los Estados Unidos.
Sí.
Ah, sí, como $5,000.
God damn it. It was also going to cost us $5,000 a piece. This was not discussed, but I wasn't sure what to do.
So, eso es la primer parte.
La primer parte es esta.
Okay.
Y luego...
Señor Andrew,
conseguir alguien que nos levante. Me cuenta es un carro y ya nos sube hasta San Antonio.
Okay.
Pero tenemos que caminar, a de cuenta, hasta Uvalde. Háganse por acá.
At this point, it became quite obvious that I was in far too deep. The coyote told me that after crossing the river, we had to walk from Eagle Pass to Uvalde, Texas, which is over 67.
Chat. What is that?
Wait, 67
The red
miles?
thing. Is that like a inflatable barrier?
Bro, that's like my whole country, man.
We had to walk from Eagle Pass to Uvalde, Texas,
That's
which
my
is over
whole
67
country, man.
miles on foot. How would this be possible? According to Apple Maps, it said it would take over 24 hours. We had no water. Plus, we apparently owed these guys $5,000. Looking back, I would have asked to turn around, but we were in far too deep. And while they're being pretty cool, you never know when a switch could flip or something. Abruptly, the younger coyote asked me to duck down because a Border Patrol boat was speeding by.
Chat, is this the correct date on this, chat?
Mira,
Ay, no,
este es un montecito. Este es todavía un monte y después de este monte sigue ya lo americano.
Ok. ¿Quieres vivir en los Estados Unidos o te gusta vivir aquí en México?
Sí, yo quiero vivir en Estados
Wait,
Unidos.
12 years ago?
Ahorita aquí estoy bien.
Sí, tú tienes 18 años, hay mucho tiempo, o 19.
Sí, 19.
Ok, hay mucho tiempo para entrar.
The other coyote asks me to give him the 100 pesos that I brought along for emergency purposes. He says someone spotted us and is asking for money. Perhaps naively, I approach the man to see what's going on. The man who asked us for money is a bit strange. He seems to function as both a tax collector and someone who provides first aid and flotation devices to migrants. Whatever his title was, or who he works for, I don't know. But there was no option but to bring this man along.
Hola, ¿qué pasa? ¿Puedes decir tu nombre y dónde eres?
Me llamo... Soy de aquí de Piedras Negras.
¿Qué haces hoy?
Pues aquí apoyando a la gente que va cruzando, los estamos apoyando, cruzan y a veces no traen su chaleco, no traen protección para el agua, ¿verdad? No traen salvavidas y pues los estamos apoyando, ¿verdad? En eso, para que no vaya a haber un accidente o algo, porque la gente no conoce el río y llega y nada más quiere brincar y cruzan con los niños en los brazos y pues yo también tengo hijos y eso es lo que...
As we learned in our previous episode, the Rio Grande is 4 feet and 9 inches deep. And 58% of Mexicans reported as not being able to swim. So many children and older grandmothers who try and cross the river into America but are below 4'9" end up drowning.
3 migrants have died near Shelby Park in Eagle Pass. A woman and 2 children drowned in the Rio Grande River.
4 migrants, including an infant, have drowned in Eagle Pass.
Lo que muchas veces no miran ellos, ¿verdad? O sea que pueden tropezar o algo y en lo que se tropiezan el niño puede agarrar agua o algo. Y sí, pues a veces no les ayudamos, pero les avisamos, ¿verdad? Es peligroso. Aparentemente se mira tranquilo, pero sí hay lugares donde está hondo y puedes ir caminando y de repente pisas y te hundes y poquita corriente que haya en ese pedazo.
So they have to buy a floater in this guy.
Creo yo, anda entre los $7,000 y $10,000 en entrar a los Estados Unidos. Me queda cerca del río y vengo aquí al río a ver en qué puedo ayudar y a veces me dan algo de dinero, ¿verdad? Y...
Sí, gracias mi amigo para la entrevista. Sí.
Chile, ¿tú quién eres, compa?
Despite his good Samaritan framing, we had no option but to pay him for his services. Still, apparently this is a bad place to cross. Our coyote points to the water to show me something.
Pues hay varias ocasiones que hay muertos ahí en las pelotas naranjas. Yo le digo las pelotas de la muerte, ¿verdad? Porque cada vez hay muertos ahí.
He points to the orange buoys in the river, installed by the state of Texas to deter migrants.
A disturbing discovery at the border. Security officials found a body trapped in the buoys recently placed in the river across from Eagle Pass.
The coyote says that on multiple occasions he's seen dead bodies trapped in the buoys. So we'll need to keep walking. But stops to tell me that he believes the Border Patrol boat from earlier has been following us using infrared heat sensor cameras. Out of nowhere, the first aid collector man starts hauling ass, and my coyote follows him. Naturally, I run after them for about 10 minutes until we finally get back to a new spot in the forest.
Oh, wow.
Once again, they bring up money.
So kind of what they were saying was that right now the standard market rate for an average border crossing with a coyote is between $3,000 and $5,000.
I'm not sure how they expected me to pay them, but I wasn't worried about that. My primary concern
Why
was getting
not?
back into America. Once there, I'm sure we could easily arrange some kind of wire transfer or something. But I didn't feel that a remote forest in Mexico was the place to negotiate, so I kept going.
All right, so we just made it on a maybe a 1.5 mile hike through the woods, and now we're here on the banks of the Rio Grande.
I hear the sound of a machete striking a tree behind me in the distance, so I turn around.
What is going on there?
¿Está bien?
No, man, no está bien, I don't think.
Okay. All right, guy with a machete just came out of nowhere.
Dude, what is going on in
Mexico?
Mexico,
Chop down
dude?
sticks and shit out here. But yeah, definitely not the most chill thing to see.
It's
right
like
now.
a horror
My coyotes
movie.
assure me that all is well. He was just making sure that we paid the first aid man. And after a final plunge deep into the woods, we found ourselves at the perfect embankment.
That looks doable.
There were no orange buoys in the river here, and very limited razor wire on the American side. So they said we'd cross here.
All right, so as you guys can see, we're at the end of the journey here. Right here behind me is the Rio Grande. So over yonder is the United States.
Much like the initial entry point into the forest, migrants had left behind a ton of garbage here.
We got hella garbage here. We got a children's coloring book right here. I hope they're doing well, but I must say they did not do a very good job. But it's all good. Let kids be kids.
There was also a bunch of dudes there, just hanging out.
We got like a Mexican Ernest Hemingway type figure down here.
Just fishing and wishing people the best of luck.
Be careful. You have a good trip.
Is he bugged?
Be careful.
I'm not sure why, but Ernesto's words gave me the confidence boost that I needed, and the coyotes said it was go time.
Come on, come on, come on. Vamos. Okay.
See?
After stripping down to my boxers and taking off my shoes, the reality of the risk that we're about to take begins to set in. At this point, I wonder if this whole thing was worth it. After all, many migrants have died on this exact journey.
In 2019 alone, 109 people lost their lives in the Rio Grande River. And last month, the body of a young girl was pulled from that body of water after an unsuccessful attempt to cross.
I see a picture of a young boy on the ground and begin to wonder, did he make it across into America for a better life? There's no way to know. There was also no time to ask questions. The first coyote was already in the water, and it was my turn. Step by step, I inch myself down. And after a few small strides, I reached the waterline. From there was only one way to go. In. As I inched through the rushing green water, I began to feel the undertow, the rapid current beneath the river's surface I'd been warned about.
Hey, but can
And
you
so
also
my
swim
coyote
diagonally?
asks that we link arms to avoid the rushing currents.
Saludo. Saludo para piedras.
I see an entanglement of razor wire that lets me know we're almost home, and Larry Susan's close behind me.
No.
Thank God, the experience is finally almost over.
Grab it in the other. What?
I breathe a sigh of relief as my feet touch American soil. I was finally home, in the land of the free, where the bald eagle flies. Sure, we had 76 miles to go until Uvalde.
Wait, what?
But at least I made it across the river, and away from Mexico for now.
On foot?
You're white. White. You're white.
Suddenly, my coyote ducked for cover and told us to be quiet.
Tírate al suelo, tírate al suelo, tírate al suelo. Así.
Manos arriba. Ven pa' acá, usted.
Speak English.
Hands up. Speak English? Yeah. Get up. Let me see your hands. Got any guns on you?
No, sir.
Face away from me.
We're journalists.
Usted, manos arriba.
Yeah, I don't think he gives a fuck.
Súbete. You too. You speak English?
Yeah.
Stand up.
I couldn't believe it. Border Patrol had been watching us the entire time since we entered the forest.
Yeah, I can clearly hear him swimming.
and set up an ambush on the American side to apprehend us.
You two face away from me. Walk backwards over here.
Jesus.
Hey,
Immediately, my coyotes jumped back into the water, swimming back to Mexico.
come back over here. Come over here.
This left us alone.
No way, dude. Just.
One guy here obviously ran back, and then the 2 USCs right there.
Actual scam.
Jeez. Damn, they had the full setup. Look at that. Look at that camera.
After crossing the river, Andrew and his cameraman were arrested by United States Border Patrol for illegal entry into the United States. They did not realize this, but what they did was a federal felony offense called failure to report. After being arrested, they were driven to a migrant processing center and placed under detainee status and held for several days, much of which was spent in solitary confinement. Thankfully, Channel 5 personnel were able to recover their memory cards, which is how you were able to see this footage. But our team also took things a step further while Andrew was detained. Using details he gave to us over the jail phone, we hired a video game designer to create a graphic recreation of the things he saw and heard on the inside.
What
and
the
we compiled
fuck am
these
I watching?
animations and voiceovers into a documentary. If you'd like to see it, go to our Patreon, www.patreon.com/channel5. Again, that's www.patreon.com/channel5. As
yes,
As many of
Well,
you
at
know,
least they tried.
we are primarily crowd-funded and supported by your monthly contributions. Free the guys and free C Mac the Loke.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News.
Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers. And 5 is the best number.
Fuck us.
Jesus, dude.
The outro is so dumb.
Chad, that was something. Chad, that was actually pretty good. But that was like kind of tough though.
That's a good video, man.
Chad, I feel like you almost like had like no choice across at that point, no? Chad, I feel like at one point it's like it's kind of hard to turn back though with the people that he was with and whatnot. You know?
Yeah, I know. Also, you stop pointing your middle finger at me. Otherwise, I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get real mad, right? I'm gonna ban you from my chat.